Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls was released on August 6, 2026 to PlayStation 5 and PC. A collaboration between Marvel and Arc System Works, who's renowned for their 2D style fighting games, and published by Sony. Marvel Tokon aims to be the new competitive fighter with tight gameplay, slick graphics, and introducing the first game with 4v4 teams, where you can toggle between each of the 4 characters on your team. The game is polished, but did a piss-poor PC release and Sony's inclusion hurt it? We'll have to see in the long run. I'm Tom the Wizard Man, and this is the Fake Wizards review of Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. If this review provides you any value at all, please like and subscribe, as we're making reviews practically every single day. In Marvel Tokon, Earth is threatened by the Champion of the Universe. The champion travels from planet to planet, seeking out challengers to test his might. Planets that lose are seemingly destroyed or are enslaved and forced to train to be stronger. After the champion's victory in Chandalar, he sets his sights onto Earth. The promoter picks out 5 members to go and make teams to compete against each other, and then ultimately, the champion. There's Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, and Hulk as the Fighting Avengers. Storm, Magic, Wolverine, and Danger as the Unbreakable X-Men. Spider-Man, Ms. Marvel, Star-Lord, and Penny Parker as the Amazing Guardians. Ghost Rider, Blade, Deadpool, and Loki as the Samurai Outriders. And Doom, Magneto, the Green Goblin, and Carnage as the Knights of Doom. Each team has their own story path and ending, with no clear canon one being currently picked. The stories in episode mode are weak. Like really weak. Presented in manga panels with accompanying voice acting, segments can feel like 7-8 minutes of dialogue that you just end up wanting to skip through, since the first 3 fights you can clear in no time. It's specifically manga panels too, because the finished page is read right to left, not left to right, like in a comic book. Don't at me. There are 3D animated segments that are used in each story, and it makes you wonder why they didn't do full animation for all the stories. Each story is basically the leader recruiting each member and then fighting the other teams, and then the champion. But the stories they give for the roots are pretty bare-bone basics, or are just straight up bad representations of the characters. Like in the Fighting Avengers run, Captain America told Hulk to leave previously because of what basically was public perception, which is really just dumb. I think it sticks out more because the VA for Captain America is the same one in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, so it sounds weird because it's the same character, but it's not. This leads into the vocal performances, which are a mixed bag. It feels like a 50-50 split between characters reprising their roles and newcomers, and then in that, there's another split between good and bad performances. Like Steve Bloom returns as Wolverine and as the Green Goblin, who he played in Spectacular Spider-Man, as well as Josh Keaton playing Spider-Man, and they're great. Kellen Goff plays Carnage, and I thought he killed it too, but Sung-Won Cho is not a good Doom. And I know James Arnold Taylor has played Magneto before, but I've never been a fan of his performance. It just sounds like an old man version of his Obi-Wan Kenobi from Clone Wars. Regardless of their performances being good or bad, something that you may run into is getting annoyed at the constant reuse of voice lines. Anytime a character uses a super, they repeat the line every single time. It's not really a problem, all of the fighting games do it, but it would have been nice to have like a cycle of voice lines to toggle through where it's not just the same thing each time. But again, that's me being nitpicky. But what about the gameplay? That's what gamers care most about, right? Well, it's clean. I should take the time to say that I am not a fighting game person. The most experience I have in terms of fighting games is Super Smash Bros., which me and my friends used to play all the time. This is not Super Smash Bros. This is more of your traditional 2D fighter, so as a more normie player to the space, this game does a good job at making it feel approachable. The tutorial does a good job at clarifying what buttons do, how to pull off specific inputs, and what combos you can pull off with them. Sequentially pressing either Y or B can lead into your supers, which to me felt like a beginner-friendly choice. But that beginner-friendliness doesn't indicate that this is an easy game. You still have to put in the work of remembering the combos, learning the space, and getting accustomed to the different playstyles of the characters. It gives the feeling of being approachable to pick up, but takes time to master, which I really like. Like if I go online, I will get smoked, but I won't get perfect. I won't get back-to-back perfect, and that counts in my book. The game is fun. When you get into that mode of juggling and comboing, it is a blast to play. The graphics and effects visually look awesome. Game modes include both offline and online options to choose from. There's the episodic stories we had talked about before, All-Star Arena, which is like a roguelike mode where you fight through levels, choose paths, pick up effects, and complete challenges to try and get the highest score. Arcadia Rumble, which is a party mode where you switch between a 3D beat-em-up arena, picking up upgrades, and the 2D fighting. And of course, the online modes of lobbies, casual, and competitive. It's all fun when it works. Something that needs to be addressed is the state the game launched in on PC, which was bad. And I feel like bad is an understatement. Players everywhere were having issues connecting to matches, but when they were in matches, frame rates would drop significantly, reconnecting messages would pop up every few seconds, or games would end due to disconnection. It was embarrassing. And where some people will try to defend it by saying, oh, well, I didn't have issues with it, it still launched like that. You sold a game for $60 that was barely playable on PC. And the patch to fix it didn't come out until the 10th, 4 days after the game's launch. There are still reports of some people having issues, but it seems that for the most part, PC's online mode is running more optimally. Even with it working now, those 4 days did do damage to this game. If I was a newcomer and saw people not being able to play the game, I wouldn't buy it. And even with it being relatively fixed now, you've now instilled a certain level of distrust into this game. It's working now. Is the servers going to crap themselves whenever DLC characters or map or just updates come out? Speaking of DLC, it's confirmed we're getting DLC characters, with us getting Phoenix Cyclops, which is a bit of a weird choice. Thor being heavily referenced to be a DLC character, although it will likely be some twist on the character with Loki laughing at Deadpool talking about it in the Samurai Outriders storyline, and down the line we'll probably get the full team of the Fantastic Four as a team. The base game has 20 characters with one secret edition, and while the cast is solid, I do wish we got more characters in the base game before it just turned into, hey, pay up for all the other characters, bub, come on. Final issue piece for Marvel Tōkon deals with Sony. Tōkon was published by Sony and PlayStation and has made it so you need to have or create a PlayStation account to log in to be able to play on PC. Part of the bugs and issues the PC port had on those first days of launch was a login issue into the PlayStation Network. We personally experienced it, where it would start the login process but then crash, and it would just loop itself. Additionally, PSN is not available in every country, meaning if you have a PC but live in a country that doesn't support PSN, sorry buddy, no Marvel Tōkon for you. But also it gets worse because this game is not supported on Linux or the new Steam OS. So if your computer is running off of Linux or you use a Steam Deck or Steam Cube, you also can't play Marvel Tōkon. It's Windows or bust for Tōkon, which is a shame because it is a fun game to play. But it feels like they went above and beyond to make the PC release of this game absolutely abysmal. The fairness of the $59.99 price tag is up to you. If you're in an area that doesn't support PSN or use hardware that wouldn't support this game, definitely do not get it. If you do not like fighting games, this is definitely not something you will like. If you like fighting games, then this is probably up your alley, and I'd recommend you look into it. If you're someone who was possibly interested in trying it out, I would say watch other people play it before buying it. Like right now it's a little more approachable to play as we're still early on, but this will definitely become a game that people are sweating in on an online mode. Like if you're a casual player, this is a competitive game. And I don't think the alternative gameplay options are enough of a reason to purchase it. If it was $70, I would say that it is not worth it just flat out, but $60, I'm relatively okay with. I am annoyed that the likelihood for the complete version of this game will likely be somewhere in the hundreds, depending on how many characters they add and what they're charging for them. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls gets a 7.5 out of 10. It's a passing grade because the game is fun, it's polished, it's clean, but there's too much baggage tied to it. If this review provided you any value at all, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.